Do you remember that Archer that I first met? The self-serving, egocentric jerk that only cared about himself. Why can't you be more like him today?
What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here, and welcome to Afternoons to Light. Let's talk about this last video for Med this week. I talked about Maggie and Ben in the first video, then I talked about Dr. Charles and Ripley, so definitely go back and watch those two videos. I'll probably have on the end screen towards the end of the video here. Let's talk about the Dr. Archer stuff this week. So, the scene that I showed y'all was with Dr. Archer talking to Hannah about Leanne, who's his ex-wife and obviously mother of his child, Sean. And Leanne came in with all sorts of drama. Obviously, we know Dr. Archer himself was very cautious of Sean giving him his transplant, and he was really against it for the longest. But Hannah had to kind of like reel him in and be like, you know, he's a grown man and he wants to do this for you. And obviously, I was talking about last week, I think Sean has obviously forgiven his father for like probably not being there for him when he was growing up, and he wants to do this for him, so he knows that he can help him out. And it doesn't seem like they have a bad relationship right now. You know, that's the thing. I think Archer is still feeling very guilty about the way things went for him when he was younger, and he just still hasn't gotten over it. But he's also being a parent too, because my mom the same way. I've noticed this with parents a lot. Like with their kids, they don't want their kids to give them anything, you know, or do them any favors. You know what I mean? Because they still feel like they have to protect them and stuff like that. So they don't feel like their kids should be protecting them. Now, there are some parents out there that don't have that kind of philosophy. Like they feel like their parent, like they feel the kids actually turn into the parents of the parents. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny there. But like I said, Leanne, who was played by Paula Marshall. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Paula Marshall's work, but I want to say like I'm a fan of Paula Marshall, but I've loved seeing her work over the years, man. She's a really good actress, and I was actually excited when they showed her last week in the previews that she would be on this episode. I was like, man, that's a hell of a guest star that y'all got coming in this week, man. Because she's done great work over the last, I think she's been acting for at least around, I want to say 30 years, maybe longer. She's been around since the 90s, though. I know that for sure. But it was good to see her on the show, and she did a great job in this episode, by the way. She came in very annoying though, man. I was really hating her earlier in the episode because she was trying to put a stop to the transplant. I'm like, it's like both of them don't realize like Sean is a grown ass man, bro. And I'm glad kind of like Hannah was talking to Archer at one point about the whole situation between, you know, and we found out some more things about Leanne's relationship with Archer because Leanne actually confided in Maggie. Maggie helped her out earlier, kind of, you know, really get over some of the differences that she had between her and Archer and let her son go through with the transplant, which was successful, by the way, as we found out later in the episode, so good news there. But at first she was very reluctant about it, but then she talked about how they met, because Maggie was asking them how they met, and there was something where before Sean was born, they took like a road trip to the desert, and she got an injury, and Archer fixed her injury. So she was reflecting on that. So it seems like she's very, the fact that she remembered that she's very, not that that's something that someone's going to forget when you get injured that way. And, you know, somebody helped you. But it felt like there was something there, and just, again, I talked about this with Maggie and Ben. A lot of times with these divorces, when they get ugly, the two parties just, they don't talk. And this is why I believe in friendship before you get in a love relationship, because I don't think these two respected each other. And I think that over time it got worse, especially, and when kids are involved, it's even worse. So maybe that's what happened with them. But it's nice to see that everything worked out and they were able to get this surgery, because, I mean, it's been a struggle for Dr. Archer trying to get this transplant, man. It's been crazy. But I'm glad, the one thing that I'm glad about in this video is that Hannah has been there for Archer, man. That's the one thing. And I know Hannah could be a little overbearing sometimes, but I am happy that she's always been there for him because he's been needing that type of person, man, in his life. And I think she's changed him too because he's a little bit more of a teddy bear than he used to be, from what I noticed. Because he was very cold coming into bed. And I talked about how Ripley might have replaced him as the villain on the show. Ripley's the new guy, so it's very interesting, man. Give me your thoughts on this whole situation, man. There's an interesting situation next week with Hannah. She's found a lover, and it seems like some things have gone wrong there, man. So I can't wait for next week's episode. Give me your thoughts here. Give this video a like, share, subscribe. Make sure y'all check out the 2 other videos. I'm going to move on to fire right now. Thank y'all for watching. After News to Light.